Season 6, Episode 6, Matching Income Types to Account Types. Up to this point in the season, we've explored the major types of account containers. Taxable accounts emphasize flexibility and visibility. Tax-deferred accounts postpone taxation by shifting it into the future. Roth and HSA structures offer a different kind of certainty by settling taxes early or eliminating them under specific conditions. Each container changes how taxes interact with the investments inside it. But once you understand how these containers behave, a natural question appears. Where should different investments live? Because not all investment income behaves the same way. Some investments produce income constantly. Others produce income rarely. Some create frequent taxable events. Others create very few. And these differences matter. Because when an investment that produces frequent taxable events sits in a highly visible container, the tax system sees those events immediately. But when that same investment sits in a container that delays or shields taxation, the outcome can look very different. This is where the idea of asset location begins to appear. Not asset allocation. Asset location. Allocation is about deciding what you own. Location is about deciding where those investments live. And while allocation shapes the economic behavior of a portfolio, location shapes the tax behavior of the portfolio. Consider a simple example. Some investments produce income regularly. Bond interest is typically paid on a schedule. Dividend-paying stocks distribute income periodically. Real estate investments may distribute rental income. These investments generate frequent taxable events. If those events occur inside a taxable account, the tax system sees them each year. Income becomes visible. Taxes are triggered. But if the same investments sit inside a tax-deferred account, those events may no longer be taxed annually. The income still occurs, but the container delays when the tax system recognizes it. In effect, the container reduces the friction created by frequent visibility. Now consider the opposite type of investment. Some assets produce very little income along the way. Instead, they grow primarily through price appreciation. Taxes appear only when the asset is sold. In a taxable account, this type of investment can remain largely invisible to the tax system for long periods of time. As long as the asset is held, the gain may remain unrealized. This allows compounding to occur without annual taxation. In other words, some investments are already naturally tax efficient. And because they produce fewer visible events, they can often live comfortably inside taxable accounts. This is the basic intuition behind asset location. Investments that produce frequent taxable income often benefit from containers that delay taxation. Investments that produce fewer taxable events may function well in containers where visibility is higher. The container and the investment begin to interact. But it is important not to turn this idea into a rigid rule. Financial systems are rarely optimized by a single principle. Flexibility matters. Liquidity matters. Future tax uncertainty matters. And the structure of a portfolio may change as life evolves. So asset location should be understood as a guiding principle, not a strict formula. The goal is not to achieve perfect efficiency. The goal is simply to avoid unnecessary friction. There is also a deeper reason this concept matters. Matching income types to account types helps align the behavior of the portfolio with the behavior of the tax system. Instead of fighting the rules, the structure works with them. Frequent taxable events occur in places where they create less friction. Less visible gains occur where visibility is less costly. Over time, this alignment can make the financial system easier to manage. But like many forms of optimization, asset location can be taken too far. When investors become overly focused on minimizing taxes, they sometimes introduce new risks into the system. Portfolios become more complicated. Liquidity becomes constrained. Flexibility disappears. And the system becomes fragile. In the next episode, we'll explore this tension more directly. Because sometimes the pursuit of tax efficiency creates more problems than it solves. And understanding where that line sits is an important part of building a financial system that actually works.